just in case you don't want to...
Well, hello, tarot clubbers. This is the Anne and Karen slightly spontaneous get-together. And Karen today said she'd like to think about finances. So I thought, why don't we try doing a little mini-teach or discussion on the suit of Pentacles, which is often associated with financial matters. Because Pentacles is the old name for the symbol, but very often nowadays in modern decks, instead of calling them pentacles, they're either called discs or coins, as in this deck, the Everyday Enchantment deck. That's the Ace of Coins. So with the obvious symbol of a coin, we're going to be thinking about money. What other things, if you're thinking about the pentacle or a coin, might you think of? Does it make you think of anything?
A coin?
Yeah. You know, what other issues might this suit be associated with?
Anything that's financially related. It's sort of absolutely anything, can't it?
Yeah, so it could be investments, it could be banking, it could be the person who pays your wages. Yeah. So therefore, also this suit can be work.
Okay.
Yeah. Often work that we do for money, rather than craft that we're passionate about, which would be more the suit of wands or the creative fire. Okay, so that's the symbol, and then the element associated with pentacles or coins is earth. So is there anything, just riff on the word earth, what sort of comes to mind when you think about earth?
Growth.
Yeah.
Dirt.
Yeah.
Mud.
Yeah.
Life.
Yes. Yeah.
Air, sea.
Yeah. So
Sky,
the whole planet.
everything. Yeah.
Gaia, the whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah. So as we'll see when we look at some of the cards, it's all of those things. So it can be literally people who work with the earth, like farmers or potters who work with clay. Mud wrestling, although I've never actually experienced that in a reading, but it would fit. That's a whole new one for the Five of Pentacles, a mud wrestling match. Okay. And it can be people who work in production generally. So people who make things for a living, whether that's a production line or a crafts person. So all of those things will come out when we go through this suit.
Right, okay.
So what I was going to suggest we did was think about what all of the numbers mean.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the court cards we can do, and we'll just do it very, very briefly. Okay.
Do you mind, if I take notes while we're doing it?
You do that, but you'll have a video. You can take notes from the video.
Of course I can. Yeah. I was thinking that's for everybody else, not for me.
A handout, even. Good Lord. Yeah. Right. Okay, so
let's do it.
So let's go for it. So in the next club meeting, we're going to be thinking about aces. So we don't want to give too much away, but it's the ace is the number one. And we thought about the magician, who's number one in the major arcana at the last club meeting. So can you remember anything, or does anything come to mind when you think about number one?
Self.
Yeah, good. Because it's everything starts with us, ourselves, in a reading. Yeah. So,
number one, first.
Yeah, first. So aces are often about beginnings or the first steps in something.
Okay.
Yeah. In particular, when I look at the Ace of Pentacles, so we've got that kind of hand offering a gift. And we've got a sort of quite fertile looking foreground. So in particular, when I look at this card, I think it doesn't just remind me of a coin or a magical pentacle. It reminds me of a seed.
Okay, yeah.
And it's the element earth. So it can literally mean beginning something or planting something that may not come to fruition for quite a while, but it's got all the potential to become everything in the suit because it's a seed. So that's the Ace of Pentacles. And what we've got, so we'll hold up both of our cards.
Okay.
So, whoops, they're daisy. So Karen's is the Modern Witch Tarot. So it's even more obvious that we're looking at something glittery and shiny. It almost looks like the sun, and a sort of much clearer image of an earthscape in the foreground. And then quickly looking through another deck, the Everyday Enchantment deck, the Ace of Coins in that deck is a craftsperson or a builder. So she's actually using bricks, which are made of earth, and she's using some sort of mortar, which is also made of earth. So she's, you know, putting down the foundation layer of something with the Ace of Pentacles. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Cool. So then if we go on to the 2, so you can hold up the 2s. There you go. Here's both of our 2s. I'll show you the Everyday Enchantment in a minute. Great. So does the number 2 make you think of anything?
Pairs, couples, balance.
Yeah.
Don't know whether...
Yeah, so couples, that's a good one. So partnerships.
Yeah.
It can be partnerships, getting together with somebody to do or feel something. Okay, and then and then it can also be 2 sides of something or 2 options. So if we put those 2 things together with the element earth, or to do with coins, anything come to mind?
No, not straight away.
Not straight away. So
2 pentacles and the earth.
Yeah, so 2, all those things we just said, couples, partnerships, 2 sides of something.
So is it something about growth again then?
Yeah. Good.
2 pairing.
That's it. Put 2 together to work on something, and you're going to make a lot more progress than on your own. Because you'll not only both be working on something in partnership, but also you'll bring different skills to the mix. So, you know, the Pentacles can be the practical skills that you've got with it being earth. Okay?
Yes.
And so what have we got here? We've got on Everyday Enchantment, we've got somebody looks like they're celebrating, or a group of people look like they're celebrating, and we presume it's either the wait person who's been given a tip, or the couple are celebrating and they're getting a discount, or maybe it's just a load of bankers drinking champagne and eating lobster. Okay?
Because only they can.
Yeah, yes, that's right. Well, I wouldn't even know how to crack it open, let alone eat it, quite honestly. Any plebs. Okay, so then when we get onto the 3, right, so 3s, it's not so obvious to think of things. But if you make the shape of a triangle, that gives us an idea. There's another thing, and if you invert your triangle, it looks, if you've got a really vivid female imagination, a bit like a vulva. So unsurprisingly, any 3 can mean giving birth.
Right.
Or sort of using this as an arrow, sort of progressing in a direction. So giving birth to something, or moving in a new direction. So it can be manifestation. Now, I like yours much better than the Rider-Waite. So do you want to hold yours up? And we'll see what we've got there. Do you want to describe it?
It's a woman drawing or painting a picture of another woman who's naked.
Yeah.
And somebody who's teaching her besides.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So there we go. So what we've got there is a lovely illustration of somebody practicing their craft in a very small and safe group. We've also got that lovely voluptuous-looking woman in the background, the one who's the model, and she's reminding us that Pentacles can be about fecundity or fertility, and giving birth to all sorts of things. And what we've got in the everyday enchantment as a different interpretation is we've got 3 people working together to get a narrow boat through a lock. So the fact that we can get further or move in a new direction when we get a small group of people. Yeah, that's it. We're on it. This is easy, isn't it? Okay, 4s. Okay, so sometimes it's best to sort of make a shape, and it's not very easy, but a sort of 4s. Yeah, square. That's it, a square. So think of squares when you think of 4s. So if you think about a 4, and the square, what kind of things might any 4 represent?
Any 4? Containment in a box?
Yes, containment. Yeah. Containment. Anything else?
4.
While you're thinking, and so a container, any kind of container, can feel safe and secure, or it can feel constricting.
Okay.
Yeah. So that grows that aspect.
Yes.
Yeah. Anything else? So we could have our 4 sort of upright, or we could have it like that. Any help? You think of buildings.
Yeah, I suppose if they're upright, you could think of buildings, and there's lots of buildings at the back of this card.
So it can be a foundation, which can either be secure if it's built on good ground, or if it's too wet. We've already talked about mud. It could, sink down. Or
so is that why her feet are on the pentacles?
Yeah,
there?
so
it's about the foundation.
She's grounded. She's
Right.
like in the weight. So I'll show you those. We'll just show you those. Yeah. So any 4 can be foundations or bricks or containers of some kind.
Wow.
Right? So 4 of Pentacles, we're thinking about practical matters, we're thinking about money, we're thinking about work. So if that came up in a reading, what might it mean?
What might it mean? Okay. So what would the question be?
If it came up in a reading to represent, let's say, the person's current situation.
Okay. There's something about having their feet on the ground, being grounded.
That's it. So you feel like she's on good solid ground. She's grounded herself.
There's also something about some support and love there. It's sort of whether that pentacle would be in by her heart. And
yes, so yours is a softer version, but she's holding that pentacle in the same place. So it can be somebody who's holding on to what they've got, and that can either be a good thing or a bad thing. Okay. Now, your 4 of Pentacles, you think she's being very careful with her money. Maybe she's got a family to feed. Whereas this bloke with his bloody crown, you think, you tight bastard, you own an energy company. We're all bloody paying extortionate bills and you're making all the profits. Okay, 5s.
Yeah. What about the one over his head, though? Pentacle of his head.
Dreaming of more still.
Dreaming of more. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or aiming for more.
Just the way you read them, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, 5s.
5s.
Okay, here's our 5s. Now, here we get a problem.
They're quite similar, aren't they?
Yeah, here we get a problem with the rectified decks. This is where there's a very specific picture for each card. And unfortunately, all of the 5s look like trouble of some sort. Right. Okay, so we're going to put the images down. Okay. And what we're going to do is think about 5s. So we'll never be able to do our club video if we stand up and do this. But if we were having a Learn Tarot by Movement class, what I would suggest is that everybody found a space in the room, put their arms out and spread their legs slightly wide and put their head up tall. And then you form a 5-pointed star.
Yeah.
And then I suggest you start twirling as a star. Okay. Can you imagine the Ashburton Tarot Club twirling like stars?
I'm going to miss this.
Yeah. And basically, any 5, it's the midpoint of the cycle, and it represents a point of flux, so things are uncertain, and there's potential change, and you're not quite sure, sort of whether you're ready move forwards or whether you should retreat back to a safe place. And so the picture that is shown in a lot of decks is of some people who are clearly shivering out in the cold, where presumably rich or religious people are warm inside.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course they are.
Yeah, of course they are. Yeah, but that isn't what it has to mean. So can you if we say, okay, 5 is flux and potential change, and it's to do with money or other things to do with earth, what might it mean if it came up in a reading for somebody's current situation?
Might it mean that they're walking away from something?
Yeah.
That they're leaving something behind because they're going past the 5 of Pentacles?
Well, yeah, so, and specifically it could be they've decided to take a risk on giving up their paid job because they're sick of earning minimum wage.
Yeah.
You know, and they're prepared to put in a bit of effort to try and bring them something, get something that either brings them more income or more of a sense of doing something that's right for them. Okay?
So that's quite a positive card. Really.
It can be. It can be. But people don't always make positive choices. So what we've got is a lovely image on the Everyday Enchantment. So it's somebody with a slot machine addiction, because what she's doing is she's taking a chance. 5s can be about chance, but she's actually gambling. And she's going to have an awful lot to lose. Yes, she'll get a rush out of it for every little win, but she, you know, it's not a financially very secure way of going forwards. But Lady Luck might shine on her. It is Everyday Enchantment. Okay, 6s. Okay, now when it comes to 6s, if we're doing a movement thing, we need to do it together. So if you make your 3, your triangle, and I make mine. And now the question is, no, you can't bloody see it. But anyway, our question is, can we harmonise our triangle?
What if I move?
That's it. There we go. So 6s are about, they're ruled by Venus, the planet of harmony. So any 6 is to do with harmony or balance or a kind of out-breath, because you've come through that flux. So 6, harmony. What might it mean in terms of money and finances?
That, because she's giving away gifts.
Right, so in the Modern Witch, which is much softer interpretations, more feminine interpretations, although it's a non-binary deck. So what we've got there is somebody being generous. So she's got, not only has she got enough money, but she's got enough to give some away, to gift it. So it shows a generosity in terms of finances, unlike the bloody Rider-Waite, which is showing a rich bastard. Because don't forget, this suit traditionally was about the merchant class.
Okay.
So it's showing somebody who's got loads of money, and yes, they're giving some of it away, but it's this meagre little thing to the beggars, and it's still keeping the social order of rich and poor.
There we are. That's exactly where we are today.
Exactly. Well, there's nothing like being contemporary with the tarot. Okay, so 7s.
Okay.
So all the odd numbers mean movement, and all the even numbers mean pause.
Really?
So doing and being.
Okay.
Right. So when I'm learn the numerology by movement, I get people to stand up, put their arms forward and lunge forward for a 7. And lunge forward for a 7. Because 7s, you've only got to think the Chariot in the major arcana, are all about the ability to make progress, and sometimes quite rapid progress, which you wouldn't necessarily guess from our decks.
No.
Right? But what do you see? Because there has been progress.
Okay, so there is some growth there, isn't
so
there?
There's growth. So the seed that we planted with the ace has grown into quite a crop. Yes? Yeah. The trouble is, in the Rider-Waite deck, he looks very dissatisfied.
Yeah.
It's as if he's got a load of golden pumpkins and he thought he was planting heirloom tomatoes. So he feels as if he's put in all this effort and he's achieved something, but maybe it's the wrong crop. So again, sometimes this card can mean in a reading somebody deciding they're going to change their job, that they've done as much as they can in one organisation.
Yeah, because she's also looking a bit sort of like that, isn't she? Like, okay, so it's grown now, what?
Yeah, exactly. So very good. Okay, so then 8. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put our squares on top of each other, if we can. We've got 2 squares there, because we're starting to build and form a structure with any 8. So if you put together structure and everything to do with Pentacles, so work, money, earth, being grounded, what might it mean?
That it's starting to pay off?
Yeah, there you go. So that's right. So
it's looking more set up, more.
Okay. So we've got on both of them, we've got craftspeople. Who are skilled. They've not only put the hours in terms of being paid, but they've put the hours in terms of developing their skill, and they're beginning to build something up. It could, another meaning that has to come to mind is that it can be some sort of financial institution, the 8 of Pentacles, or a company where people go to work.
Okay, so I can read
Okay,
it. Okay.
So I don't think we've got much to add from those decks, but anyway. Okay, so 9s. So it's the last number in the cycle, because once you get to 10, the 1 plus the 0 take you back to another 1. Okay. So this is the peak of the cycle.
Okay.
So that's my movement. It's the peak of the cycle. And usually involves again some movement, because it's an odd number, a dynamic number. So if we hold up our card, there we go. So what might the meaning be of the 9 of Pentacles when it's
that's
pinnacle?
all fruited, hasn't it? So it's really come to fruition. Whatever.
Yeah, so it's really at the harvest point, isn't
yeah.
it? It's you're not going to grow any more golden pentacles this year. It's the end of the season, but you've got this fantastic harvest.
Fantastic crop there. Yeah.
So
you've put in the work all the way through these cards.
That's right. Okay. And if you again just think about peaking and money or work, what could that mean without looking at the image of crops?
Without looking at it.
Yes. So just think about peaking and really reaching the peak of something, and then put that together with money or work.
Whether you've probably reached whatever you're going to go financially with whatever you're doing.
Yeah,
You'll
absolutely.
Need to break into something else. Or
or decide you've got enough. You don't want to work so hard any longer. Yeah. Okay. So then moving on. So we'll hold up our 10s. Right.
Yeah.
So 10 is the end of the cycle, but in every ending is a beginning. So what would that mean? So the ending of something, the completion of something, but put it together with work, money, or earth.
It looks like, doesn't it, on my card? They've now a family with 2 children, with a child, 2 dogs, a granny living with them. It's sort of all home based around relationships.
So there's there's enough to actually nurture a whole family or a whole team or a whole organisation.
Okay.
Yeah. But there's always an instability in a 10 because it's a 1 as well. So within it, there'll be an urge to start something new. It's not unusual for somebody to have provided for their family, but then feel like they want to do something which is more craft based or more soulful, or they've got this wonderful house, but if they're over mortgaged, there might at some point come a time where they think, especially with interest rates going up, you have to think currently that actually they could share the house with somebody, so granny moves in and adds a bit of equity, or it can be simplifying, deciding that the next move is to have something
sort of
simplified.
downgrading.
Well, yeah, or wanting to lower your outgoings.
So you've got more.
So you might want to invest. It can be about investing, in solar power or heat pumps, say, to get your energy bills down.
Okay.
So anyway, so that's that.
Yeah,
and then very quickly, Tarot Club, because you must be bored stiff by now, we're going to run through the court cards. Okay, so court cards, pages.
Page of Pentacles.
Okay, so sometimes in some decks called the Child.
Okay.
Okay, so all pages are, they can be children, but they're usually people with a youthful spirit or a sort of youthful approach to something. So I've got here in the Everyday Enchantment deck, it's a very different sort of image. Here we've got a young person who seems to be being encouraged by this hand in the foreground with a coin on it to take some dogs for a walk and earn a little bit of money. Maybe it's the page's first job. Who knows? And it could actually mean that if you were doing a reading for a young person.
Okay.
You know, you're going to have a chance to earn your own money soon.
Yeah.
But what do you think of when you look at your more traditional image?
That to me is just somebody who's about to go out into the world and sort of see the world, basically, get new experiences.
So they've got the world in their hand, basically. And you're thinking that they're curious, you know, they feel like exploring, you know, it's not a fixed plan yet, but they'd sort of embrace this plan to either see the world, travel, or make money, or look for a job. They'd embrace that with a sort of sense of adventure.
With the youthful sort of thing.
Okay. So then knights. Now this is getting interesting because we had this one in your reading last time.
Oh, you're going to want me to remember.
So knights. In some decks they're called, one specific deck, they're called explorers. So what we get now is not somebody standing on their own 2 feet, but they're on a horse. In most decks, they're on a horse or something to help them move forward. It might be a vehicle. Knights are sometimes thought of as kind of adolescent or young adult energy, or that kind of instinct, sort of being driven towards something. So put that together with work, earth, money. What might you come up with?
Going towards something, going to start something new, or
to do with
more finances coming in.
That's it. So to do with work, or could be to, you know, wanting to set up a business as a crafts person. Here we've got a knight. You can interpret it in lots of ways. It's a man incredibly carefully cleaning a car. And we're not sure if that's somebody who's set up in business to do that, or if he is the knight, and instead of a horse, he's got a vehicle and a cat, but he's got a vehicle that he's very proud of. It's something that he's earned for himself. Now, I just want to have a look at the weight knight, because Karen said at the beginning that when she was thinking of earth, she was thinking of mud and soil and dirt. Now, I think the horses are the best things about the knights in this deck, because they really give you a whole other dimension to the knight. And this knight is wearing very heavy armour. He's on quite a sturdy steed that's kind of weighed down with heavy saddles and straps and things. And also it looks as though he's about to go into a freshly ploughed field where he could actually get stuck in the mud. Or he could end up plodding very slowly, like some people who are earth signs do. Or it could be highly meticulous attention to detail. But it's somebody who's going out there, they're working or trying to earn money, or they're trying to provide and nurture others, but they're hardly the most dynamic of the 4 knights in the deck. Okay.
That's why she's looking a little bit.
As
it's plodding along.
Okay, queens. So all the queens mean, what would you think?
Regal lady in charge.
Yeah.
Feminine.
Yeah, so especially in all the old decks where there are 3 men, it's so unfair, and 1 woman in the court cards. So obviously by default the only woman represents women, but also it can be a man who's in touch with their feminine side, and it can also be a man or woman or non-binary person who is nurturing. So the thing about a queen is she's nurturing in some way.
Yeah.
So if we think about the Queen of Pentacles, so she's to do with work, money and earth, what might that kind of queen specifically be about?
Work, value.
Yeah. She might appreciate what she's got, is one thing about the Queen of Pentacles.
Right, and there's all the flowers around, so there's something about it being very abundant.
Abundant, yeah. So again, she might in this one, the Everyday Enchantment, she's a market gardener who sells her excess produce. It can be about a woman who is a sort of salt of the earth kind of woman. Somebody who likes to feed others, who is a nurturer, literally. Or it can be a woman in business, or a woman who's is doing a really good job, possibly quite high up in a company. Makes sense?
But that can be also just happily doing their own market garden.
Exactly.
So there's something about contentment with this card, is it?
Well, again, it's within context, but yes, it could be. It's not like the Queen of Wands or the Queen of Swords, who's got all this whooshing energy, who's like, no, the Pentacles court cards are much more settled. Okay, we've nearly finished. You'll be so glad to know. Kings. So what would all the kings represent? What do you think when you think
total power?
So power,
rule.
Authority. Top of the tree, maybe.
Top of the tree, definitely.
It can be fatherly energy as well, as the queens can be motherly.
Leader.
Leaders, absolutely. Could also be getting a bit old. Past their prime. Yes, okay, so traditional deck, we've got sort of abundance again. We've got vines, we've got all the symbols of the earth signs in the zodiac as well. You've got your Taurus, Capricorn, whatever the other one is. What's the other one? Virgo. So you've got your bulls for Taurus, and then you've got goats on mine. Goats for Capricorn.
Nice.
And then
you've got rams for Aries on there.
No, they're meant to be goats, goats and bulls.
Okay.
But that's what they're meant to be, whether they are or not. Okay, and here we've got a totally different interpretation. We've got the farmer, who's spent decades, possibly generations of his family have been farming, and just the sort of countryman look to him.
Very happy, outdoorsy. Yeah. Lovely.
So there you go, club. We hope you enjoy a mini teach on the suit of Pentacles. Yes. Bye. See you next week. Bye.